So if you didn't know, I made a whole video the other day about Sunhaven, and it reminded me that I had a channel and we should probably talk about some stuff. So here's a list of 10 upcoming farming sim games, as well as whether they're coming to Switch or Steam or what platforms there are, and I'll also include how many players will be able to play. So single player, multiplayer, things like that. I will withhold any of my own thoughts in this video, so there won't be any value judgments. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's get started. The first game on our list is Critter Crops, an RPG where you grow and cultivate a variety of critters on a Halloween-themed island of sorts. It's a single-player experience with a pretty cute art style, although the demo is very out of date at this point, just so you know. The game has had a successful Kickstarter and will be coming to Steam and Switch at some point in the future. It is still an alpha though, so don't expect to hear much more about the game for a little while still. Next up is Katori Academy, a cozy life sim where you play as a wizard apprentice attending a magical school. Farming does make up a part of the game, but the main focus will be on befriending others, learning magic, and exploring the school alongside your own spirit cat companion. This is a single-player game which also has completed its Kickstarter campaign. The game is expected to be out this year on Steam and Switch, and probably next year on PlayStation and Xbox. Game 3 is a mix of a farming sim and Pokemon. That's right, it's Magicka. You can train your own blobs, grow crops, and explore and make friends in this single-player game. It has already completed its Kickstarter as well, although the tiers it has unlocked might see it taking some time before it's actually ready for an official release. That said, the game is currently in a closed beta phase for those who did pre-purchase and do all the Kickstarter stuff. And we should see it coming to Steam, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox in the future. Okay, this one might seem a little out of left field. From the creators of Dauntless, a Monster Hunter-inspired game, comes a 4-player co-op experience releasing on Nintendo Switch later this year. Fey Farm is a game where you'll be able to craft, cultivate crops, and grow your homestead, although one of the main strengths of the game will apparently be using spells to explore Zoria and complete hidden dungeons with other players. Moving into the realm of sci-fi, One Lonely Outpost will see you take your space RV to a barren and desolate planet to grow some space crops while you raise some space animals, all in the comfort of space. The main task of this game will be growing your colony, but there are plenty of characters to meet and 2 paths for you to take, organic or synthetic. The game is listed as having multiplayer on Steam, but I couldn't find a confirmation of this on anywhere else. So consider this a warning, it might be single player, I don't know. It should be dropping on PC, Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation later this year. Turning away from the futuristic, welcome to the Stone Age in Roots of Pacha. Pacha, a co-op farming sim and a life sim game. Learn about your tribe, grow and evolve, and make the world your own in this prehistoric farming sim game. The game promises a large explorable land and has also completed its own Kickstarter. It currently has an expected release date of April on Steam, but like everything else, it might be subject to change. The game should first launch on Switch and Steam, and then later on Xbox and PlayStation. If you've made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing, it does mean a lot. Currently I mostly focus on making videos for Palia and a few farming sim games from time to time, but I also post my opinions on broader things like indie games and things like that. And I also want to expand to cover more games in the near future, which is why this video exists actually. Speaking of which, back to the list. On to yet another co-op game, this time set in a solar punk open world, whatever that means. Unleash your creativity to build, automate, and customize your farm. You're leaving your homeland behind in order to find your true purpose in life. Farming on a mysterious island. This game will hopefully release on Steam at some point in the future, but who knows when? Not me. Up next is a game that I felt I had to include, but it also feels a little bit weird putting it in here. Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life is a single-player remake of Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life, releasing in June of this year. Unless you're willing to play in Japanese, then it's actually already available on Switch. This is a traditional farming sim game, but it'll take place in stages, with you living out your character's life from young adult to old age. The game will be coming to Switch, Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. Our penultimate game is one that was set to release last year and sees us trying to lift a curse and revitalize a ruined island. It's Snaco, a cute little game where two former big city kitties grow crops, raise cows, fish, explore, and more in a farming cat venture of a game. This is a single player game that will be coming to Steam and should also release on Switch, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Sorry, Xbox. The final game, and obviously the hardest hitter if I'm saving it for last, is Fields of Mysteria by MPC Studios. This is a nostalgic farming sim meant to harken back to the older days of gaming, with you restoring a town back to its former glory days after an earthquake wreaks havoc on it, and strange magic begins flowing through the lands. This is a single-player game and is generally pretty early in development, so it doesn't have a release date or platform at this time. It doesn't even have a trailer, but it can be found on Steam. Speaking of which, those are all 10 games, and you can find a link to all of them either to their Steam or their website in the description below. Before I wrap up, I would like to give a special thanks to a few of these game developers for having a mostly up-to-date and informative press kit. Those games are Critter Crops, Snaco, and Fields of Mysteria. Seriously though, press kits make everything so much quicker and easier for me and any other people who actually want to report on a game, and help us verify information about the studios, platforms, the games themselves, and are very appreciated. That's not to say that other games didn't have a press or a media kit available, it's just that in some of those cases they might not have been up to date, they might have had missing info or things like that. Okay, thank you for watching. Are there any of these that you're looking forward to? Please let me know, and have a good day.